Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to cover manipulative skills, which is chapter 17. Manipulative skills, really defining manipulative skills, is any skill where the students are manipulating an object. That object could be a ball. They could be throwing a football, so that's manipulating the football. They could be catching. They could be kicking. They could be jumping rope. They could be hitting a tennis ball. They're manipulating the racket and the ball with their hands. So that's really what manipulative skills are, where they're manipulating any type of an object. These skills are often, when you're teaching manipulative skills, you're often teaching them skills that are going to lead up to sports skills. So for example, when you're teaching them to throw and catch, well, you use throwing skills and catching skills in a lot of sports. You use it in volleyball, you use it in basketball, you use it in baseball, you use it in football. There's a lot of sports where you're going to be throwing and catching. So when you're teaching the students these skills, you're teaching them skills that they'll use later on in PE when they're playing sports. And they're also going to use those skills if they enroll in youth sports leagues or sports teams at your school. PE is often the place where many students are going to learn coordination and their basic sports skills. So it's really, really important that we as PE teachers do a good job of teaching those different sports skills, helping students learn the basics so they'll be able to be successful when they play sports. As a PE teacher, you have a variety of ages. So you have students from kindergarten all the way up to sixth grade. Those students are going to have different levels of coordination, and they're going to naturally learn how to do things in stages. So in this module, you're going to learn the stages to throw, the stages to catch, the stages to kick. And students are going to go through those stages naturally as they grow older and as they mature. So for example, if you take a ball and you toss a ball, maybe about that big, a little gym ball, to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, they'll stand and just hold their arms straight out and then hope that you hit the ball right where their elbows bend. And then as soon as the ball hits them, they'll pull their arms up and they'll try to catch it. That's their hope. But if you throw the ball a little bit to the side, so maybe you throw the ball over here, well, they won't move to catch it. They'll just say, hey, bad throw. But as they get older, they'll start to move more to catch, and they'll start to catch with their hands instead of trying to catch the ball with their elbows and use their chest as kind of like a backstop. They'll stop doing it and they'll just catch it with their hands. They'll move their feet and they'll move their upper body to help them do that. So those are different stages the students will go through as they grow older. It's really important as a PE teacher to understand those stages and understand what the expectations are for those students, and to help those students go through those stages in a real sequential type of way, to understand what they're going to do and understand what the next stage is, and how as a teacher to help them get to the next stage more quickly, and understand the proper techniques for performing in those stages. We're really teaching students coordination. That's a big part of what we're teaching them when it comes to manipulative skills. So we need to understand how to teach those activities. How do I teach a student how to throw? What are the steps? Where do I put my left foot? Where do I put my right foot? Where do I hold my arm? When do I release? Do I twist my trunk? How does all that work? Is really, really important to helping your students be successful. So understanding those manipulative skills is really going to be important for what you're doing. You need to make sure as a teacher, and this is really important and can be incredibly helpful, that you're using manipulatives, the things that they're using, a ball or a bean bag or whatever it is, that matches their skill level. And if you'll do that, it'll make everything you do easier. For example, if I were teaching students how to play baseball, I want them to learn how to use a bat and hit a baseball. Well, I would start out with younger kids with a bat that's really big, a fat bat. So it's got a big end on it. So it's easy to hold. It's lightweight. It might be plastic, and it's got a big barrel on the bat. And then I would have the ball as a plastic ball and put it on a tee. So the ball is stationary, and they swing the bat, which is got a big barrel on it, and it makes it easier for them So I'm matching the manipulatives, the tool that I'm using in my class, with their level of coordination, and then they'll be successful. As the kid gets older and can maybe hit a ball that's moving, I would start out with a big ball. So I may start out with a rubber ball that's about that big, and it's really lightweight. It's easy for them to hit. It's not completely aired up, right? It's about 70% aired up. So when they hit it with a bat, it's not going to hurt them. And that would make things easier for them. And as they improve, the ball could get smaller, the barrel of the bat could get smaller, the ball could be tossed to them, it could be pitched to them at faster speeds. But I'm going to match all those things to the students. If I were playing a game of softball or something with my class, I might have a variety of different bats that the students could choose, and they could choose a bat that fits their skill level. So I'm trying to work with each student, helping them to improve their particular skills. And one of the means to do that is by changing the manipulative. Let's say I wanted to teach students how to play volleyball. Well, volleyball can be a difficult game to play. Students don't always have the skills to play volleyball. So one of the things I could use to help develop the skills is start out playing volleyball with a beach ball. So use a big old beach ball, blow it all the way up, and use it for everybody to play with. And instead of having 3 hits every time the ball's on one side of the court, you could have up to 10 hits whenever the ball's on one side of the court. And I could lower the net on the court. I can make the boundaries a little bit bigger. So I'm going to adjust the manipulatives, but the ball is the key. If I use a beach ball, everybody can hit a beach ball up in the air. If a beach ball were too hard, I could use a balloon. Balloons are easy to hit up in the air, so I could teach students to use different techniques. They could hold their hands together and hit the balloon underhanded. They could hit it overhanded. They could slap it with one hand. But I could use a balloon to teach them those techniques, because balloons fly through the air really, really slow, and a beach ball is going to be somewhat similar, more advanced than a balloon, but somewhat similar. And as the students improve their skills, the ball could get smaller and smaller and smaller until I get to a regulation size beach ball. So it's really important to change the manipulative to fit their skills. This week you're going to do a juggling activity. And we're going to change your manipulative to make it easier for you. The easiest thing for you to use when you juggle is scarves. If you have a scarf, they make juggling scarves. You can go online and you can purchase juggling scarves. You may be able to go to a craft store and buy juggling scarves. That's one of the easiest things to juggle. You can also use plastic grocery bags. That's one thing I'm going to demonstrate with juggling, is using plastic grocery bags. But I'm changing the object that you're using, the manipulative, to make the task easier for you. So those are some concepts that are going to make it easier for you to teach manipulative skills. These are really important things that we need to make sure as teachers we do a good job of teaching these skills, so our students have the best opportunity to be successful when they begin youth sports. Because that's part of what we do. Youth sports is not for everybody. It's not for most of our students or for many of our students. But if we can teach you these manipulative skills, it'll give them a better opportunity to enjoy playing sports, enjoy doing activities. And the more they enjoy it, the more likely they're going to be good at it. And if they're good at it, they're more likely to do it more often, all the way into adulthood. People who play tennis as adults were good at tennis as kids. So if we can teach them those tennis skills when they're young and teach them proper skills, they'll be better tennis players, and as a result of being better at the game, they'll enjoy it more, and they're more likely to do it for their entire adult lives, which will make them be healthier, which is our ultimate goal, is to help people live a healthy lifestyle. So hopefully some of the ideas from this lecture will help you with teaching manipulative skills.